Welcome to the Competitor Talk. This is your host, Kyle Dangler. This podcast is presented by Loud Creative Works, and today we're very fortunate to be joined by Dante Bichette Jr., who is currently in the Washington Nationals organization. So here we go. Hey, Dante, how are you?
Hey, man, how's it going? Doing well.
Good, yeah. So welcome to the show. We know you're a very busy guy, so we'll just get right into it if you don't mind, and we'll get started.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for rescheduling. I appreciate it.
No, yeah, all good. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about just looking at your career path. You've had a lot of ups and you've had a lot of downs, but taking you back a few years, being picked, by the Yankees, so early on, having the pressure of being the first round pick of the Yankees and one of the the greatest storied franchises in all of sports, and topping that off with I'm sure a lot of people ask you about your father, playing in the MLB, one of the best hitters, of his generation. I mean, having the pressure of both of those things, I mean, did that ever take a toll on you, or were you kind of used to the pressure, growing up?
I never really felt pressure from that kind of a standpoint. I just think that, I was 18 when I signed, and I think from a life standpoint, I'm not so sure I was ready. I don't think that I was quite, ready in the fact, like, I didn't know what to expect exactly. And I didn't know how to handle certain things on my own. And so I was kind of thrown in the fire, and, people sink or swim, and I sank for a little bit there. I had some good times, and, I didn't do too bad, but I definitely wasn't ready to play to my potential yet. But, later on, I was able to kind of grow up and handle life a lot differently.
Yes, speaking of that, I mean, any, thought in your mind at all about going to college for, a year, maybe at a junior college, or, 3 years and then going pro? Or were you always, head on, I'm going to go into the draft and, go be a professional right away?
I was pretty heavy set on the draft. I had told all the teams if I go the first day, I'll sign. Otherwise, I'll go to school. And I thought I was going to go on the first day for sure. In hindsight, obviously, a couple years in college would have been really good for me, I think. It would have helped me grow up in not such a, dramatic way, but kind of ease into it, I'd say. But, things happen how they're supposed to, and I was ready to sign.
Yes, going from, obviously high school where, down playing in Florida, you're definitely one of the best players in all of Florida and all of the country, going in the first round. But then looking back, going to professional baseball, we ask a lot of people that come on the show, how their transition was like going from, being a high school kid, just playing the game for fun, and then all of a sudden turning around and realizing, you're thrown into the fire and it's a business. I mean, obviously, you were pretty heavily known for your bat, especially in high school, being picked so early on. Any trouble with, going through the ranks as such a young kid, dealing with professional pitchers?
Yeah, you know what? It was, it's never been a physical thing, even when I struggled. It was never something that I couldn't do physically. It was 100% mental. I think that one thing that you're not prepared for going into professional baseball is getting a lot of input from a lot of different places, on what you should do, and how to handle that. So, in high school, it's fun. You're playing to win. You're playing with your buddies, your friends, and you're playing for, your school. So it's like you kind of have school pride, and then you go into professional baseball where everything's a bit backwards because, everybody preaches winning, but the way that things are handled, it doesn't necessarily add up to that, and it's like the most individual team sport, minor league baseball, that, it's crazy. But something that actually helped me get back to the way that I used to play is approaching it as a team again and putting team first, and I really believe that that's the way that the game is supposed to be played.
Yeah, you brought up the point of, everyone at the end of the day, even though you're all teammates in the minor leagues, you're all vying for, the next spot on the next roster, whether it's AA going to AAA or, just any level, you're all trying to, get to that next step. I mean, not to, have you, point out anyone, be like, oh, I remember this guy. But I know, just, without naming anyone, I mean, did you see anyone, in the locker room kind of, just worrying about themselves more than the team that you kind of look back and say, that wasn't maybe the right mindset for you guys all to take?
Absolutely. I would say, 90% of the guys, and I was victim to that too. You care about your friends, but you care way more about yourself, and that's not how baseball or life, in my opinion, is supposed to just go. I think that really people, guys that we like watching on the TV, some guys I actually played with, Baez, Lindor, those are my favorite guys to watch because I truly believe that they really just care about winning. They're big names and they're loved in their cities because they bring wins to the team, and that's what they care about, and you can tell by the way they play.
Yes, going through, the Yankees, system, obviously, there's a lot of pressure on you personally, just with, your family history in the game, and then also, dating back to, the storied franchise that I mentioned before, just, the Yankees, you think baseball, a lot of people's minds go straight to the Yankees. Going through their system, I mean, was there a lot of pressure on you from any coaches, teammates, media that, you kind of had to get rid of the noise at some point, or did you were able to kind of shut out the noise every day and go do your job as a professional?
There was absolutely a lot of different voices, like I said, coming from a lot of different places. Some were helpful, some really weren't. I'm sure everybody means well. Their job is to help you, and your job's kind of to be helped. But I just think that it's tough because you don't know the person.
Yeah, you don't know who to trust at such a young age, probably.
Exactly. You don't know the person, and it's different being in a high school where you grew up with somebody and you can listen to them full-heartedly. But when you just meet someone and you got to be a little skeptical because there's so many people that come at you from so many different angles. But that's why I think it really is important to develop a relationship with players and with coaches as players, and go from there.
You just spoke upon, not knowing who to trust. I mean, being such a young kid, was there anyone looking back that, you kind of realized that, you maybe, went to, in times of, struggle, or even, just to, be around, feeling that, you could trust them? I mean, like a hitting coach, any coaches, bench coaches, other teammates. Was there anyone that, you personally, kind of lean on in the locker room?
I really did get along. I got along well with Carlos Mendoza. He was my GCL manager, my low-A manager, and then he was given the title of roving field coordinator, I think it was. And he's someone I still talk to. He still texts me. When I signed again, when I was in any ball, he still texts me, telling me, basically encouraging me. Edward Gonzalez was another guy who was my GCL and my low-A hitting coach. And I had them both early in my career, but not really late in my career. But, there's guys you kind of click with throughout the way, for sure.
Yeah, now going through, the Yankee system, obviously, you were with them for, quite a few years. And, having to leave the organization, after being with them all the way up to, 2017, finishing in Double-A with them. You were up in Double-A, you were down, in Single-A advance. I mean, going through the process was was it kind of tough to leave the organization and, try to, go on a new path, with a different organization?
No, not at all. I'd say a couple years before my contract was up, I was very ready for a new start. Kind of a new scenery. I didn't know it was going to include a couple years in independent ball, but that ended up being the coolest thing and the most fun I've had. And honestly, when I learned to regain that passion that I played with when I was younger. No, I was well ready for a change.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought up, the new scenery because, a lot of players that, we've talked to, even in the minors, in the majors, in NFL ball, you talk to them all, sometimes, change, kind of is a good thing because, a lot of guys, kind of move on and, get to a new place. And, that I can understand, that feel that you probably had where, you kind of, fresh new start and, you could kind of wash away the, bad times before and, kind of look towards the future.
Yeah, and I don't want to put any blame on any of on a single team. It was more. And I think this goes for a lot of guys. It's more of like, you've been in a place so long and struggled that you kind of just want to be around. You kind of want to be able to remake a name for yourself, in a different setting. And it's not to put blame on how anything went down. I think just, at some point you're ready to mature, but if you're in the same setting, it's really hard to change,
Yeah.
And just because there's so many opinions formulated about you already, and, preconceived, like, notions of how you'll handle certain situations, but it's good to kind of step out and be able to reinvent yourself.
Yeah, so just looking into kind of some few articles about you, your stats. One of the things that came up was just talking about your career after the Yankees. Just kind of seemed like you were kind of in a place where you didn't know which way to turn, so to speak, and then you found independent ball, and that's where you kind of you just hinted before you reinvented yourself. You had fun with the game again. I mean, was independent ball looking back something that helped you think the game also in the aspect of team sport, having fun and also enjoy the game more, being now back with the Nationals?
Absolutely. So I played in St. Paul, Minnesota, which is, in my opinion, maybe the coolest place to play that isn't in a big leagues.
Wow.
And I mean, they draw a ton of fans. They have a ton of fun. Their motto is "Fun is good." And in indie ball, there's not many rules. You don't really have to follow any rules. You have to perform well, or you're gonna lose your job. But if you do perform well, you kind of get to do whatever you want. And I think that freedom is really good for somebody trying to figure themselves out. And so back in St. Paul, I was able to regain the passion for the game. And they at the end of the year, I had a couple spring training invites, and I didn't want to go. I told
you loved it so much there.
I told them, I had a great time playing. I loved the guys, and we played as a team, and we had fun. And called the manager, and I told him I'm coming back, and he told me he didn't have a spot for me. So that was a blow to like my heart. That hurt for sure. But he ended up trading me, and I wasn't even sure really if I wanted to play anymore, because I was like, well, that's kind of the only place I've had fun playing. Why would I go anywhere else?
Yeah.
But fortunately, in High Point, it was a brand new team, and I took fans took a liking to me immediately, and I loved interacting with them. And then the manager and the coaching staff actually showed me something I'd never seen in professional baseball, which was like a care for me as a person before a baseball player, which made everything kind of worth it to me. And that's something that's really important to me. And it kind of just, I guess, shed a different light on how baseball works for me, and it kind of it sparked me again. So a couple good things happened in a row over the span of my indie ball career that really helped.
Yeah, speaking of that time in indie ball, I mean, you mentioned you found your love for the game again, but did you do anything differently with your swing? Did you take a new approach to the game? I mean, any mechanic switches, or was it just actually like 100%? Just your mental aspect that you refound it in the indie ball.
Well, so yes, there's definitely mechanical differences, physical differences in my swing and how I play. But basically, what I did was I cut out every single external voice. Like, I mean, everyone. As soon as released me in spring training, I said, okay, that's it. I'm doing this on my own. Because I always kind of believed that I knew how to do it. I just, for some reason, I didn't. I just listened to everybody else, and I just took information from everybody. And I think that's kind of, what I believed people wanted, but at the same time, it wasn't showing up in the games. So I just decided, you know what, this is my career, and this is kind of my last go at it here. Yeah, so if I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail the way I want to do it. And I really learned what makes me consistently successful and what makes me, able to bring it every single day, regardless of, I guess, what's going on around me.
Yeah. So, talking about indie ball, just looking at, the games you played there and, having the chance to, play catcher, play third base, first base, outfield. I mean, how much fun was it for you, just speaking about, being on the field at different places, playing new positions and, really getting that, aspect of not only a team, game, but also, having fun and, getting to enjoy different positions, also while performing well.
I think that was everything to me. I play a lot of slow pitch softball with some of my buddies back in St. Pete in the off season. I play wiffle ball tournaments in the off season, and my favorite part about it is being able to play different positions. And doing it in a professional baseball field was even cooler. And then actually, I got pretty good at catching. The first year was a little tough. I wasn't the best back there. But the second year with high point, I actually caught really well. And I had a lot of fun. The pitchers enjoyed throwing to me. And then second base, I played here and there. Outfield, I played a little bit of, which wasn't too hard. But second base, I played, and then when I got to the Nationals, they continued to let me jump around the field, and I've got a ton better at second base, and every once in a while, my teammates jump around me, tell me I'm nasty a second, and that's like the coolest thing I've ever heard, because I've always been a third baseman, first baseman.
Yeah, so going through the process, obviously after indie ball, you got your chance this year as of just now with the Harrisburg Senators being with the national organization. I mean, going back into being on a professional team, an aspect of being in a major league franchise, were you kind of nervous coming back to the kind of standard way of going about getting to the major leagues, going back to an organization as opposed to indie ball? Or was it something you were looking forward to and, excited to go on?
I was absolutely nervous. I hadn't even really decided if I'd ever, I hadn't even really thought about going back to affiliated ball. I kind of assumed everybody forgot about me. I guess hitting 400 in the Atlantic League was something that, definitely caught people's eye. But, I was literally getting on the bus to drive 13 hours to Long Island when I got the phone call and had to turn around. So, I kind of came out of nowhere to me. I didn't know anybody was paying attention, but I was really excited and really nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I've always heard good things about the Nationals organization, and honestly, since I've been here, it's been something that I've never experienced. They really take time to get to know you as a person, and they really care about you as a person, I feel like, before a player even, which is, again, very important to me.
Yeah, how important is it, to you, speaking about, being able to trust people? I mean, going back to, kind of your family roots, I mean, do you, ever lean on, your dad or your brother, cousins, relatives, talking about, not only the game, but, how to handle, being a professional, kind of trying to shut out the noise? I mean, do you ever, take the opportunity to, take advice from them and, also give advice?
I give advice. I mean, I have kids in my DMs asking about hitting, if it's a mechanical thing or a mental thing, almost daily, and I try to respond to every single one. I send video back and forth with high school kids almost daily, whoever it is. But no, ever since I was released by the Rockies, it's been me. It's been me 100%, and it's been really cool that the feeling that I always had that I knew what I was doing, but I didn't really trust it that I was right. So it's been really cool to see.
Yeah, so it's kind of, for you personally, kind of, see you at family dinner, kind of, not talk about baseball.
I don't like talking about baseball unless I'm on the field, like at all.
Oh, really?
Not really at all. Except for right now it's cool. But I think it consumes so much of our day that in order to keep like a healthy mental, outlook on the game,
Yeah, balance in your life.
Yeah, exactly. Balance is important, and I think also it's important for athletes to realize that the sport isn't life. There's a lot going on in life, and a lot of people I talk to, a lot of friends I've made outside of baseball have no clue, what's going on in the baseball world, which is funny to me because I'd always just assumed the whole world knew exactly what was going on. But I think it's very important to keep a balance, and it helps. It helps when it is time to turn on your baseball mind. It helps you really turn it on as opposed to having it burnt out from hours talking about it before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, talking about off the field, I mean, do you have any hobbies that, you look forward to? You mentioned, playing wiffle ball or playing, slow pitch softball back home with your friends. But is there anything that, else you enjoy besides, sports, whether it's, going hunting, fishing, just really anything that comes to mind?
Absolutely. I was going to the beach, and I played a few different instruments. And
wow.
I write music, and I enjoy making music. When my friends come over and they can play any bit of any instrument, we usually jam out a little bit. That's something that's a lot of fun to me. I can do that for hours. Otherwise, just hanging out with my friends back home. Hannah, Donnie, Tucker, hung out with them every day last fall season.
Awesome.
That's something that I would do.
Yes,
I can't wait to get back to.
Yeah, it seems that, you're a very, well-rounded guy. You do, stuff off the field, on the field. But, on the field, just reading up about you, you mentioned before, people in High Point, took a liking to you. And, especially, with the Trenton Thunder, when you went back there was an article written. Just, I don't know if you saw, but, just talking about how much the fans enjoyed, watching you play on and off the field. I mean, what is it about you think that, people are drawn towards and, look forward to seeing you play on and off the field?
I think that's my favorite thing in my career is that the fans everywhere I've been have taken, really treated me well, and really, I've interacted with all of them no matter where I'm at, home, away, whatever, and they've always really liked me. I think that's something that's really special to me, and really important to me as a performer, more than anything. I think that I've always kind of, I guess lately I've been thinking like the energy you put out really doesn't lie, and if you put out good energy towards people, man, they reciprocate it back to you, and that's just how good relationships are started, and fun interactions with the fans can happen, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just going off of that, being with the Harrisburg Senators, this year, only for a short time, you're mashing the baseball, batting over 300. I mean, being, so productive on the field. I mean, how much has that helped you off the field to kind of relax and not think about the game, so to speak, as to say if maybe you were struggling a little bit with them coming back in the pro ball?
Well, it's funny. Up until my first year at St. Paul, baseball was obviously the number one most important thing, and performance was the most important thing. I'd spend hours before anybody gets the field in the cage, and hours after everybody left the field in the cage. It was probably detrimental looking back, but now the number one most important thing to me is trying to make the fans have a good time. I think that's ultimately what we're there for. It is an entertainment industry, and I think that's really what we're there for. And you know what? When you can do that, a lot of other things kind of align and fall into place, and takes the pressure off the game and makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, I mean, just going about it, you just mentioned, you were at the cage, a ton. I mean, going through that all the time, baseball consuming, so much of your life, for so many years, being able to be more relaxed now. I mean, is it something where, you get to the field, take a few swings, and if you feel good, kind of just go out there and perform to your best without having any doubts in your mind, as opposed to, looking back, as a young kid, trying to take those, 100, 200 swings to, make sure you go 4 for 4 in a game?
Yeah. So now, I can't judge my success in this game off of. I'm sorry, I can't judge how good or bad a day is off of my success or failures in this game. It's just too unpredictable. You can. I listen to Steve Springer speak a lot. He's quality at bats on Instagram. He talks about you can hit 4 line drives for outs and you're 0 for 4. So was that a good game or a bad game? It's hard to really judge yourself on something like that. But what you can control is trying to help the team win. What you can't control is having a good time, and competing every pitch. So to me, that's attainable goals are way more fun because you can succeed a lot more often.
Yeah, I mean, just talking about in the mental game, we had a few other guys talk about, maybe doing meditating before the game or, kind of, listening to music or, just trying to, kind of relax their mind. You mentioned, talking and, listening about, what really matters, at the end of the day. I mean, do you do anything else before your game to kind of ease your mind or even after the game to kind of, mentally prepare, that kind of at the end of the day, baseball is just a game and, not your life?
I've gotten, over the past couple of years, I've gotten pretty in tune with how I feel. And how I feel is directly relates to how I perform. And, I'm talking about, like, my heart, my mind. And so, if you can tell, if I can tell that a certain day is not really my day, if something's a little off or whatever, I just kind of try to do something that I guess makes me happy or kind of like a little self-love. It's something little like get a massage or even just go out early to the field and sign a few balls for somebody, some kids or something, and do something happy that makes you smile and makes other people smile. And I feel like that takes a lot of the anxiety or like the sadness away from you and distracts in a positive way.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. A lot of guys, in your position, some of them, kind of, having to sign balls or, take pictures, may kind of, think, why am I doing this? But, it's awesome to hear you personally, being able to do that, putting a smile on someone's face, at the end of the day, so, what the game truly allows you to do and, what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Yes, just kind of wrapping up, the segment here. I just wanted to ask you, before we let you go, coming into the end of the season, being with the Harrisburg Senators, obviously, you guys had a great year so far, and, looking towards being able to, clinch the playoff berth that you guys have done already. What are you looking forward to, in terms of, getting back to playoff baseball, in an affiliated team?
Well, playoff baseball is the most fun because all the stats go away. So all of the selfish thoughts and the individualistic ideas for baseball kind of vanish, and it really allows you to perform. It just allows you to go out and compete and takes stress away. I've had years where I hit 230 in the season and then absolutely mash as soon as playoffs start, just because the season's over and it's literally just
clean slate. Yeah.
And you're playing to win. Period. End story. I think that's why playoff baseball is so much fun.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance, watch you firsthand, at a game. Are you kind of, one of the guys on the team that, people look towards to, when they need energy? Are you an energetic guy, upbeat guy, try to get, not only yourself, but, the team and the crowd, into the game? Or are you kind of more of a quiet guy that, just goes out, does his business, maybe, tell someone here or there something, but rather, keep to it yourself?
I'd say somewhere probably in the middle.
Okay. Depending on the situation, maybe?
I'm not someone who's going to scream. I guess I have my screaming moments, the energetic moments, but I'm also not someone who just keeps to himself. I kind of just play and let the emotion take you where it takes you.
Yeah, so, last question before we let you go, relating to baseball, not non-related to baseball, what do you want people to remember you for in terms of baseball? And then looking after, your baseball career, what are some aspirations, you hope to achieve, off the field that, you kind of look forward to, after your career winds up, which could be, whenever, you decide to, hang up the cleats?
I think the first one's easy for me, and it's something I have to figure out. I want people to remember that they had a really good time watching me play. Either good interactions with me, or just they had fun watching. And I think that's really all I can ask for. But off the field, I guess after I'm done, I love music. I love to pursue something in music, and I want to travel and just kind of see the world, and I want to continue to make people happy in whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, awesome. Any one place in particular that you hope to get to visit with after your career? Maybe somewhere overseas, or somewhere locally that you haven't got a chance to get to see yet. I mean, is there anywhere specific that you want to see before you hang up the cleats afterwards?
Yeah, I've been to Australia. I loved Australia. I'm definitely going to be going back there soon. My best friend was up there, but I went to Asia. So I think I'd like to go to Europe.
Okay.
I think I'd like to go to Europe next. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably go to a lot of different places.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, it was great to get able to talk to you. I know you guys are specifically busy this time of year just because playoff baseball is right around the corner with the season kind of winding up soon. So just thanks for taking the time out of your day. We hope it wasn't too much of a burden. We know you got a game tonight, but thanks for coming on the show. We look forward to seeing what you do with the rest of your career. Hope to talk soon, and can't wait to see how you perform the end of this year. Looking towards next year.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a pleasure and honor. Just also to seeing and hearing how you interact with young kids and try to help them out. It's something really cool that I don't think a lot of players do that should be done.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. All right. So thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Hope to talk soon.
All right, man. Later.
Bye. Yeah. So that was Dante Bichette Jr. on the Harrisburg Senators of the Washington Nationals. He's having a big year this year. After getting picked up by the Nationals after playing in indie ball for a few months this year. We wish Dante the best, on and off the field. It's awesome to hear how he has hobbies outside of baseball that he can lean towards, outside of, the game, after a game, he has something to look forward to and take his mind off of, the pressure of the game and the pressure, having to perform. So we thank Dante for coming on. Can't wait to see what he does, in the next couple of weeks. We'll playoff baseball coming around, and, hopefully, he gets to the major leagues like his brother and father, and, we wish him the best, with his music, traveling and just everything in general. So thanks for watching and listening to us. Thank you, Dante, for coming on, and have a good day.